On today's episode on WarpDriveM, we are going to fix the 1 series. We are going to replace the clutch assembly, everything, flywheel, clutch, pressure plates, everything that has to be replaced in order to drive the car normal. We have in here the new parts, the flywheel, dual mass flywheel, clutch assembly. This is the pressure plate. In there we have the clutch, we have the bearing for the gearbox, and this plate in order where the slave cylinder pressed on the clutch. We have new bolts for the flywheel, and in here we have the old stuff. The bearing on the old flywheel is shot, as you can see. Maybe you can see in there all the small metal parts are flying out, and in here is touching the side, and here we have too much play, and because of that the car was shaking completely. If you missed the last episode where I took everything out and I've diagnosed the problem, I'm gonna put a pop-up banner in here. You can check that video out. And with all of that info, we are going to start putting everything on the car and fixing this 1 series. We are going to start with the gearbox side. We are going to replace this plate and this bearing. This is quite easy. You have to press this bearing in here first. That's about it. Okay, now we take this old plate out, put the new one. That's about it. I'm going to use some grease in here, and after that we are going to work on the car now. Now we can install the flywheel. You will see in here a guide. We have to put the flywheel on this guide, and it's going to align with all the holes. Don't forget to put this plate back. This is the plate for the crank shaft sensor. And in here on the new flywheel you will have this guide. The guide should fit in here, not in here. You will figure this out for sure, but you have to use this hole in order to push that guide through. So let's do that now. Now install the new bolts with a T60. I hope you can see that on camera. T60. From new they came with Loctite. You have to use blue or yellow, not red. And everything tied to your hand. So hand tight. You have to be sure that the threads are going perfect. Okay. Set your torque wrench to 120 Newton meters and start tightening the bolts. Now the clutch assembly, we have the pressure plate in here and the clutch itself. We have the hex bit 6 screws for the pressure plate that the bolt is going to bolt to the flywheel, and you will have like H6 hex bit 6. Okay, and this goes only one way. You can see on the clutch they said in here gearbox side, so you have to put this side to the gearbox, and this means something like this on the pressure plate, and this goes on the flywheel. This side where my fingers are, flywheel, and this side goes to the gearbox. And at the end we have to remove this plate because this holds the clutch pressed. Maybe you can see here the spring how it's pressed. We are going to remove this at the end, and in order to install this we'll need a tool for the gearbox, for the clutch alignment, because you will have real problems if you don't align this from now. So if you have exactly the same set that I have, you have to use the number 8 for the clutch and number 4, I think, yep, for the flywheel. Something like this. Flywheel number 4. See that? Perfect. So let's assemble everything and put the clutch now. Oops. Let's install the clutch now. First we have to put this tool on the flywheel. Okay. Clutch now with the gearbox side to the gearbox. Okay, we have to put the tool for the clutch, and we have to thread this tool into the adapter for the flywheel. But first we have to put the pressure plate, and through everything we will find the middle and everything will be aligned. Pressure plate now, it should be going like this. Oops. Like this. Now we have to align everything. You will feel when it's threaded. Okay, seems to be aligned. Hex bit 6 screws tight with 25 Newton meters. Okay. Set your torque range to 25. Oops. Okay. Where is our light? Here. Now unscrew the tool, take it out. Now with a hex tool 14, I wanted to say in German, 14, put it in here, use a wrench and release the pressure plate. Oops, I need a screwdriver. That's it. And now we can screw back everything and take the tool out. See that? Job done. And before we install the gearbox, we have to check once again if this is aligned, because otherwise we will have problems installing the gearbox. Put the tool back together. Basically you can see the center is aligned, but this small piece, it should go on the flywheel and the bigger one on the clutch, and because of this metal line, it should be all one line. So let's see, on the flywheel, on the clutch, aligned. Perfect. Now let's install the gearbox. And I'm not sure if I can film how I'm going to install the gearbox because I have very little space in here. Let me show you. From there I'm recording, and I have to call a friend in order to help me lift the gearbox and put it on the engine. I'm going to show you after that because like I said, there is no space. But when you install the gearbox, don't forget to plug this connector. I'm pretty sure this is for the gear, to know in which gear you are, and the plug is right in here. Oops, somewhere in here I put the connector in here, somewhere in here. Yep. No, this is from the side of the gearbox, so the other one should be, anyway, it's somewhere in here. And after that the slave cylinder, but I'm gonna show you when I'm installing these ones. And when you put the gearbox, you will have two guides, one in here and the bigger one in here. Slide the gearbox through these guides and put one bolt in here or here, the bigger ones, and you can leave the gearbox in place. There's nothing to worry about after that. And it's finally installed. It took a while because, like I said, I don't have too much room in here, but it's installed. Everything is put back together, I hope. We have the slave cylinder in here, two 13mm nuts, one here, one on top, and other than that, the gearbox bolts. And now I'm going to install the particle filter in order to start the car to see if everything is okay, if everything drives normal, and if everything is okay and we don't have any kind of shake, we are going to assemble the car and take it for a drive test. I've put all the gear lever linkage, everything is back, and I think it's job done. So if you want to see more progress on this car, join me on the next episode. If you like this episode, please give me a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, as usual, thumbs down. Until next time, see you later.